If you're looking for movies or TV shows featuring interracial romance movies, you just click on the right video. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on discovering great movies and TV shows again. Number 1. The Flowers of War, 2011.
The sweet smell of rouge and perfume.
The Japanese won't touch Westerners.
I want you to take us out of Nanking.
In 1937, the Sino-Japanese War rages and the Japanese occupy the city of Nanjing. During the war, a mortician, John Miller, Christian Bale, arrives at a Catholic church in Nanjing to prepare a priest for burial. Upon arrival, he finds himself the lone adult among a group of convent girl students and prostitutes from a nearby brothel. When he finds himself in the unwanted position of protector of both groups from the horrors of the invading Japanese army, he discovers the meaning of sacrifice and honor. Number 2, Palm Trees in the Snow, 2015.
Mi padre Jacobo, mi abuelo Antonio, y mi tío Kilian.
1953 in Huesca, Aragon, brothers Jacobo, Alain Hernandez, and Kilian, Mario Casas, travel to the island of Equatorial Guinea to work on a coffee plantation. There, Kilian falls in love with a native woman, a forbidden love at the time. Half a century later, Clarence, Adriana Ugarte, accidentally discovers a letter forgotten for years that makes her travel to the island where her father, Jacobo, and her uncle lived for years. In a lush, seductive, and dangerous territory, she discovers the family's secrets, past turmoils that affect the present. Number 3, Loving, 2016.
I'm gonna build you a house. Right here. Our house.
Richard Joel Edgerton and Mildred, Ruth Nega, meet and fall in love in Virginia in the 1950s, but social conventions and even the law forbid the two from publicly displaying their love or even marrying, because Richard is white and Mildred is black. When, against all warnings, they set off for liberal Washington to marry and officially seal their union, they return home to face not only hatred and hostility, but also the threat of punishment. Their marriage license is worthless in Virginia, and if they refuse to separate, they face prison. The only alternative seems to be leaving their homeland, leaving friends and family behind. Richard and Mildred refuse to accept this injustice and take legal action. Number 4, A United Kingdom, 2016.
New nation. For us to be the masters of our own fate.
At the end of the 1940s, the African country of Botswana suddenly received significant international attention. The country's prince, Seretse Khama, David Oyelowo, fell in love with London office worker Ruth Williams, Rosamund Pike, while on a trip to England. What began as a romance quickly developed into marriage plans, causing an outcry among the people in the lovers' respective homelands. Seretse and Ruth rebelled against the wishes of their families, the British Empire, and the Botswanan authorities, and began their fight for independence during the apartheid era, ultimately seeking to return to their kingdom from socially imposed exile. Number 5, Everything, 2017.
Sacrifice everything just to live one perfect day.
In Everything, Maddie, Amandla Stenberg, is about to turn 18, but she has never left home. Since childhood, the young woman was diagnosed with combined immunodeficiency syndrome, so her body would not be able to fight off viruses and bacteria present in the outside world. She is lovingly cared for by her mother, a doctor who builds a house especially for her daughter's needs. One day, a new family moves in next door, including Ollie, Nick Robinson, who is immediately attracted to the girl through the window. Maddie also falls in love with the boy, but how could they have a romance without touching each other? Number 6, Lost Girls in Love Hotels, 2020.
Sometimes the mask is prettier than the thing behind it.
Margaret, Alexandra Daddario, finds herself by night in the glittering labyrinth of Tokyo and by day as a respected English teacher at a Japanese flight attendant academy. Lacking direction, Margaret searches for meaning in a Japanese bar with fellow countrymen like Inez, Caritz van Houten, drinks to remember what she's forgotten, and loses herself in hotel encounters with men who only satisfy fleeting desires. When Margaret crosses paths with the dashing Yakuza gangster Kazu, Takehiro Hira, she falls in love with him, despite the danger and tradition that hinder their chances of being together. Number 7. All the Bright Places, 2020.
Maybe I don't want to get out.
You might end up loving it.
No, I won't.
2 wanders. That's all.
Young Violet, Elle Fanning, is going through a difficult time. The recent death of her sister plunges her entire world into darkness. Even her parents seem helpless. Not so, however, for Violet's schoolmate Theodore, Justice Smith, who notices Violet's difficulties. To distract her and show her new horizons, he invites her on 2 trips. Slowly, the girl regains her courage and learns to cope with the pain. Beyond that, a deep love begins to develop between the 2 teenagers. But then Violet realizes that Theodore also has his dark side. He often lapses into unpredictable, desperate moods that many around him perceive as a threat. Violet now tries to help Theodore. Number 8. The Voyers, 2021.
What am I even doing?
Would it be strange if I asked to take your picture?
In The Voyeurs, Pippa, Sydney Sweeney, and her boyfriend Thomas, Justice Smith, have just moved into a beautiful apartment with a great view of downtown Montreal and a house across the street. What starts out as innocent curiosity soon turns into full-blown obsession as they begin to follow the glamorous and sexy lives of the couple who live there. After witnessing their neighbor, Ben Hardy, cheating on his loyal partner Julia, Natasha Liu Bordizzo, Pippa and Thomas debate whether they have a responsibility to take action or simply mind their own business and stop watching them. Number 9. Paris 13th District, 2021.
Immature et égocentrique une vie.
Je crois que je suis fatigué. Je me sens juste encore plus merdique.
3 girls and a boy in Paris who are friends, sometimes lovers, and often both. Emily, Lucy Zhang, has graduated from an elite university and now works in cheap, odd jobs while dreaming of a relationship. The young teacher Camille, Makita Samba, pursues professional goals that some would call illusions, but on the other hand does not believe in a fulfilling, loving relationship and relies on uncomplicated romance. Nora, Noémie Merlan, has moved to Paris because she wants to resume her law studies there, even though she is in her early 30s. Louise, Jenny Beth, calls herself Amber on the internet and offers relationship services there. Number 10. The Assessment, 2024.
Parenting. I want to get to know the real you.
Is that a good idea?
Yes.
I was joking.
The Assessment is set in a world ravaged by climate change. With resources limited and heavily rationed, even the dream of having a child is no longer a decision made between 2 people, but a privilege and a luxury determined by a mysterious and rigorous test. This test attempts to prove whether a couple who wants to have children, in a world where the birth rate is highly controlled and optimized, are worthy and capable of shouldering the responsibility. Mia, Elizabeth Olsen, and Aryan, Himesh Patel, are one of the rare couples allowed to take the test and who have successfully navigated the brutal and lengthy selection process.